Good morning and happy Easter, everybody. We are all joyful, we are all happy beyond description. Although we read the wrong gospel, that was the gospel of last night. Today's gospel should be the gospel of John. Alam niyo po, isa sa mga tawag sa Panginoon natin at ginagamit ng mga theologians, tungkol sa nangyari at sa kasaysayan ng Panginoon. Ang tawag nila ay hindi kwento tungkol kay Kristo, pero they talk about the Christ event. They talk about the event, not what happened. The event is full of so many layers of meaning. And today we have two important people that I'd like to put more focus on. The first is Peter. Peter, we remember just a little over 48 hours ago. We said, we remembered Peter denying the Lord 3 times. Nung nakita ng babae na nandun si Pedro, o di ba kasama kanila? Todo denial sa lingwahe ng mga bata ngayon. Wag ako, don't me. Wapakils ako dyan, wapakils. Bala kayo dyan. Peter denied the Lord 3 times. Peter the denier became today Peter the proclaimer. Kung 3 beses sinabi ni Pedro, don't me, wag ako. Hindi ako kasama dyan. Si Pedro ngayon ay tinumbok niya ang pinakamahalagang punto ng proklamasyon tungkol sa Christ event. At ano yun? Na si Kristo na itinatwa, si Kristo na pinatay, pinagpasakit, pinako sa krus, ay siyang parehong Kristong muling nabuhay. Peter was the proclaimer par excellence. Pero wag nating kalimutan yung si Maria Magdalena. Mary of Magdala came to the tomb early in the morning while it was still dark. Take note that during the worst moments of the Lord's passion and death, women were there. Women were at the foot of the cross. Women were just a stone's throw away from where he was sweating blood at the Garden of Gethsemane. Women were there all the way. Women were following him during the way of the cross. When things get rough and tough, you can count on women to be there. And Mary of Magdala was there. Mary of Magdala did something that we give little consideration to. It was Mary who told Peter and John that the tomb was empty, vacío ang puntod. Yan po ang root word ng vacuum, vacío, walang laman. Ano po ang mahalaga dito? Ang kwento po ng mga ebanghelyo ay hindi kung paano nabuhay na maguli ang Panginoon. That's not the point. Ang punto po ng kwento ng bagong tipan ay tumutumbok sa event, sa nangyari, sa naganap, hindi kung paano nangyari. Ang paano nangyari ay tinutugon na yan ng science, ng agham, ng mga journalists, ng mga fake news providers, ng mga bloggers. Pero ang punto ng ebanghelyo ay kung ano ang naganap, hindi kung paano naganap. Ang naganap ay mahalagang siyang dapat nating pagtuunan ng pansin. And that is, the Lord rose from the dead. That event revolves around the figure of Christ. And we will say that during every Sunday we recite that Jesus Christ, born of the Virgin Mary, raised by Joseph, suffered under Pontius Pilate. Wala pong ibang figure sa kasaysayan ang binabanggit linggo-linggo sa buong sangkakristyanuhan. Suffered under Pontius Pilate. Yan po ang dahilan kung bakit yung kanyang asawa ay nagsabing, huwag ka nang makialam dyan at ako'y nanaginip. At sabi ng mga ilang mga manunulat, ito ang napanaginipan ng asawa ni Pilato. Babanggitin ka habang nabubuhay ang mundo ng sangkakristyanuhan tuwing linggo, tuwing tayo nagdadasal ng I believe in God, suffered under Pontius Pilate. Napakatanyag ni Poncio Pilato. Kilala si Poncio Pilato sa pangalan. Kilala siya kung paano siya naghugas kamay. The quintessential politician who wouldn't stand his ground. The quintessential politician who was always trying to please everybody. Lahat ng kausap niya tama kung sino ang kausap niya. Pero sapagkat alam niyang hindi siya kumbinsido, hindi siya nakatitiyak kung tama ang kanyang ginawa, kinuha niya ang balde at palanggana, ang tabo at palanggana, nagsabi, I wash my hands of all this affair. You go ahead and kill him. Yan ang bagay na binabanggit natin sa event that was Christ. He was put to death and was buried and rose from the dead and sits in glory at the right hand of God the Father. In other words, today is the day the Lord has made, as the Psalms of old puts it. This is the day the Lord has made. This is the great day of the Christ event. What was foreseen, what was foretold, what was prophesied became real. Now, doon po sa Ebanghelyo, nalaman natin na si Maria Magdalena na nagbantay sa puntod, nagbantay sa ilalim ng krus, nagbantay sa baba habang tumatangis ang Panginoon sa halamanan ng Gethsemane. Ngayon ay tumatangis pa rin. Mary weeps. Mary weeps not only because they killed the person that gave meaning to her life, the person that she loved. Mary weeps because the body was not there. Mary weeps, but then when she realized that the tomb was empty, then she made a connection. Nag-connect po ang neurotransmitters niya sa kanyang utak at nalaman niya na ito ang kanyang hula, ang kanyang sinabi nung siya'y hindi pa nagdurusa at napagtanto niya na ang pangako ng Panginoon ay naganap. Kung kaya umiyak siya, helpless, not understanding, bereft, feeling abandoned, until the Christ event came to her mind and became a reality. And that was when she ran in haste to tell Peter and John. In other words, the weeper became the proclaimer. The proclaimer became the trigger for Peter and John to run themselves and see for themselves, and they believed. Sa panahon natin, yan siguro ang hinihingi sa atin. Isa sa mga pangungusap na maririnig natin paulit-ulit sa panahon ng Pasko ng Pagkabuhay ay ito. Do not search for the living among the dead. Do not search for the living among the dead. Saan tayo naghahanap? Naghahanap tayo ng buhay sa alak. Naghahanap tayo ng buhay sa pandaray at panlalamang. Naghahanap tayo ng malaki pang imperyo at hindi tayo masayahan sa Rusya, Putin. Naghahanap tayo ng Taiwan at Pilipinas at mga artificial islands. We look for death. We don't seek for the living among the dead. When the Lord said, do not search for the living among the dead, He's telling us, don't go searching for God in the wrong places. We search for Him. Kahapon tama ang aking prediction. Sapagkat bukas ng mall, kapag Holy Saturday, kahapon doon saan ako nagdidiwang ng Paschal Triduum, sabi ko ng Biyernes, pustahan tayo bukas, wala na ang mga Knights of Columbus, wala na yung mga humihawak ng espada, wala na yung mga hinugasan ko ng paa nung Webes. Bakit? Bukas kasi ang mga mall. We were seeking for the living among the dead. The most important feast of the liturgical year was replaced by the mall. And everybody was at the malls last night. Sapagkat bukas na ang mall ng Holy Saturday. It wasn't too long ago where we didn't have malls when we were children. But we had Good Earth Emporium in Avenida Rizal and Makati Commercial Center and what have you. But then they were closed. all through the holy days, ang mga mahal na araw. Pero ngayon iba na ang kwento. When we say we search for God, we search for Him in the wrong places. We search for Him in immediate gratification, not in delayed gratification. Yung instant na pulp bits. Gusto natin ay tunay at madali at mabilis. So we need extra territory when you have already half the world, spanning so many oceans all over the world, from west to east, bordering on so many other countries. He wants the Baltic states. People who claim to stand for traditional values are prepared to kill people in cold blood in search for God among the dead. This is not the Christian way. We search for the living not among the dead, but in the land of the living. And the land of the living begins where? At the tomb, emptied by the Lord, because as promised, He rose from the dead. And therefore, according to Saint Augustine, we Christians are an Easter people. And as an Easter people, Alleluia is our song. And so we sing lustily again, once again, the glory and the Alleluia with panache, with passion, with zeal, with love. We don't search for God, for the living among the dead. We search for Him where He is at, in the land of the living.